Okay, I want hopper people and elevator people to pay attention to this, and I don't know, whoever else is listening. But so, we've kind of come to two possible routes we can take the elevator if we want to do an L3 climb. So, what we've been discussing for the past little while in the elevator group is a system where we have the elevator inset into the robot and like a big frame cutout. The nice benefit with this is that because the entire thing fits into the frame perimeter, you don't need any like actual actuators deploying or undeploying the hooks. The problem with this approach is that because it has to slide past the robot's bumpers, that forces us to inset it pretty far into the robot to avoid a collision between the elevator and the vertical post of the tower here. And that results in it going pretty far into the robot and like cutting off a ton of space that we could be using to store balls. The other approach, which I was thinking about last night, instead of having this whole inset system, what we do is we have a hook that can pivot on the elevator carriage. I sketched it out here in CAD. This approach is beneficial in that it allows us to avoid the whole, bumper having to roll past the hook problem, because the hooks extend outside the frame perimeter, so the bumper is pressed against the vertical post the whole time. So this means we can take the elevator a lot further out and recover some space for the hopper. The only thing is, it's like a ton of added complexity. I sketched out like a gearbox that would be required on the elevator carriage to make this work. And then you'd also need to add like a winch system or something like that on the bottom to like retract and deploy this hooks that would go on the fixed stage. So yeah, that's the decision we're at right now. Does anyone have thoughts?
How does this affect the electrical population?
Oh, how does this affect the electrical population? Well, if we were to go with the active motor-driven route, the electrical population would have to figure out how to route CAN wires and power wires up the elevator and to the carriage, which is particularly problematic because we have like the wire sleeve, but we don't have drag chain, which would be much better and keep things from potentially getting tangled up. Whereas with the inset frame approach, there is no wiring going up the elevator besides, the motors at the bottom that actually drive the thing.
So is this considering that the elevator is going to be on the side?
Yeah, the plan is to have the elevator on the side of the robot.
And are we still offsetting it, or what happened to that idea?
Oh, like offsetting it from like the center line?
Yeah, just to save space for like indexing things.
I believe what we've been working with is the idea that we would have like two hooks on either side of this vertical post. I believe, I remember what you're talking about with the elevator shifted off to the side. That was working with the idea that the elevator would be like entirely contained within the inner part. I think, at least personally, my problem with that is that it kind of forces the robot to be a lot more like I can't shift it around because I have some constraints on this, but it would force it would make it so that you can't have two robots climbing on the thing if they're both max size, which is like, for most teams you're probably not going to have two L3 climbs in a match, but
unless there's like another similar size robot doing the exact same, then maybe you could fit.
But like, it's not really helpful for ranking points.
I think we should do the cutout, not the.
You're fine with lopping off a lot of the hopper?
I can probably get it back. I can like figure it out.
Does this fit under?
Does this fit under the trench?
Yeah.
Yes, it's, if I check here, in its retracted state, it's 21 inches tall, or 21.375.
Does that count hooks?
The hooks will not go past
They're
the,
on the second stage, I believe.
Yeah.
Or the carriage.
yeah, they're on the carriage.
Oh,
Like, if I fully
okay, I see.
retract it,
There you go.
it just rotated around, but yeah, the hooks are
Goes
down
into
here.
the.
Like, of course we're gonna lose storage space, but it's not like we're actually competing anyway. So like,
Yeah.
This is true, we'll let 254
it's not like
Oh, yeah, no, I
in
mean,
the future,
no,
but
yeah.
like this is pretty cool.
Of course, this is a good solution, but when we think about like who we're trying to inspire in actual teams who might actually want that storage space, and
Yeah.
also like that system of like having the Krakens and deploying the hooks, that might be interesting for some teams to see, especially if like some teams might want to figure out how to like unclimb after auto or something like that. I
Oh,
feel
we
like
can
there-
unclimb after auto with this too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I see more value in the other design, but then again, I'm not sure how quick you guys can pull that one off. So
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more complexity.
Yeah, and we haven't really worked on it before, so I think this is good, yeah.
Okay,
I just need you to give me concrete numbers within the next like 10 minutes.
within the next 10 minutes?
Yeah, that would be nice.
That's not a lot of time.
We do have questions from the audience.
We have questions from the
Yeah.
audience.
Why could you not use a hook with a spring/band that cannot lift? Like having a stopper with an elastic band that retracts it into the position it needs to be at to grab the run.
Hold on. Let me read the message so I can process it more thoroughly. A hook with a spring band. A stopper. Oh, you mean like a sprung type situation? So like, it would help if I could draw.
yeah.
But you mean like having it, so like, it's like, say this is the elevator carriage, and this is normally how the book is. Having it so that like, as the elevator goes up, it like deploys itself. We couldn't really come up with a way to like have a linkage that does that. It would be really goofy, and it would cause problems like as the elevator is retracting to pull itself up if we were to use some kind of linkage system like that. We were also thinking about ways to like have it permanently deployed, but the problem with that is that there's a rule that prevents extension on more than one side of the frame perimeter. So if we were to have it so that like at the start of the match, the hooks permanently deploy, we would have hooks outside the frame perimeter and then the intake outside the frame perimeter, and that would cause penalties.
They said they can find a similar thing from a past year. I guess from what they're
Does the
explaining.
cutout need to be that big? Like how far out are the hooks going?
Like,
Because they can extend over the frame rail. Right?
well, not with this design where there's no deployment system.
Well, they can extend over the frame rail, not over the bumpers, right? Like they can go.
No,
over-
things can't extend, everything has to be
They can't
contained.
extend past the frame rail, they can extend over the top of the frame rail.
Like to the,
That's still within your frame perimeter. Like,
Wait, I don't get, what are you talking about?
like, are the hooks above the frame rail?
Are the hooks up?
Like if I was like, if I had a really long bolt and I put it through one of the holes in the frame rail, would it hit the hooks?
Yes.
Okay.
I can actually show you like the sketching to dimension it.
Can we erase the whiteboard? I like,
Oh yeah.
sorry. Or put the string down.
Raise the whiteboard.
But yeah, so right here, this is the frame and this is the hook. So it's like literally at the very edge of the frame perimeter.
Okay. And then why is the elevator so far back from
the edge of the frame
Yeah.
perimeter. It was because of this thing that it has to do. This was like almost as close as you could get it without like the elevator like touching, because like
I see.
yeah, if I could change like the number right now. I think I've made my sketch good enough to the point where I can just go and change this number. Oh, look at that, it worked. Beautiful. If I go back here and wait for it to update, which it will definitely do at some point. Yeah, you see it intersects.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
How will it reach up to get the next bar? Like, I'm just wondering, like, cause I see like it might have to swing or
Oh,
like
so-
once it's already on the first bar, how would it reach up to grab the second one? Like, does it need to move?
So the plan, once it's on the first bar, like have this constraint so that it like is on the thing. But the idea is like you have, so say it's on the first bar, right? The idea is that you'd have a second, kind of like what the person in chat was saying. You have like another hook up here and it can like, you know, spring out of the way to allow it to go up
But
and
then
then
once,
go back down.
but like if the elevator is going up, like show me how it would be on the first run.
Okay, let me see if I can constrain it to do that. Oh wait, no, I can't because I don't have the other set of hooks. But the idea is that it would be, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna fix the first stage down here.
No, cause like you know how the bumpers are gonna like go around the rung, like the first one going to the second one. Like
Yeah.
if it'll tilt the robot inwards, right? So the elevator will no longer be like
Vertical.
Yeah. So how would it reach like the next rung?
So when it's on the first rung, the active set of hooks is gonna be above. And gosh, I hate how beautiful my constraints are because they suck when you try to move them and it's not fully constrained. We'll just fix the chassis because it's not perfectly vertical, whatever. So like the thing will be, the active hooks will be up here, and then it'll extend back up. Wow, that's a brilliant combination of things. Actually, you raise a good point. I think I see what you're talking about now. So, I think there is enough room. What you're saying is like, so say it's on this other set of hooks that I haven't modeled yet, right? It's gonna have to tilt forward in order for the other set of hooks to be able to grab on, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or it's just like once you're, I don't know how you'd reach to the next set of rungs because like naturally the robot will want to shift to its have the center of gravity as low as possible. And it's just like if that's misaligned, how would we go on to the next set of hooks?
I see what you're talking about. Low key, you might have just convinced me to pursue the active deployment system, because that solves that issue by just like, okay, you need to extend up, okay, retract the thing, go up, deploy it, and pull back down. But this. it's kind of difficult to get it to.
Oh no, that's something that I think elevators should be wary of. Maybe you guys should go back to your group and, because that's a pretty pertinent issue. I feel like that's something you would have to figure out with active point. But like, I guess try to mimic that climb as realistically as possible. I know it's prototyping time right now. Maybe you can like start getting an idea of what that would look like, but we just need to like take things like that into consideration.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to say where we're going forward with that. What do you think, guys?
I mean, we're building the elevator right now, so we can have a little bit better idea in a little bit here.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, for sure. I think continue building the elevator then. This one working out?
Yeah, I do see what you mean with like it having to swing, like because what you're saying is like it has to swing out and then hook back on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Then we don't really have a way to get it to do that.
Unless you put a rack and pinion mechanism and have it push against that piece of wood, but then
that's like added complexity. Like at that point, why not just pursue like the pivoting thing?
No problem.
So
how do we get the?
Swing back.
yeah, because it needs to like. Say if it's like if we have the lower set of hooks attached here, in order for this one to be able to go up and get on, it has to like
Okay.
extend and then
Wait,
pivot back.
actually, question. When it is just kind of like hanging, is it going to be resting against the bar? Or is
Yeah.
it going to have tipped out?
That's a
Because
choice.
if it's just resting against the bar, what you could do is you could make the, or if it's not resting against the,
Wait, if
if
it's
it wasn't resting against the bar, then you could make the hook slanted and have it tip backwards. Like make the hook,
I guess we could also have it so that the hooks on the elevator carriage are also sprung so that it just stays vertical the entire time. It's like perfectly aligned.
oh yeah. Wait, those can also be spring hooks. That would work
Yeah.
fine.
it's like creating a like almost like a guide up the post, so the robot doesn't like move; it just like follows it.
Yeah, it just goes straight up, no tilting.
Okay.
And then if you have it spring, yeah.
Oh, the only issue with that is the pegs. We can't do that because the bumpers have to go around the pegs and the whole
Well,
robot.
it can swing that way, just not this way.
Well, no, if it swings that way though, then the elevator will be misaligned with the next set of pegs. Like that was the issue.
Well, no, because if it's when it's going over the bumps, right? If it's going
Yeah.
over the bumps. If this is the thing, it's gonna swing out this way, but then it could still be aligned this way. As long as it doesn't swing that way, it's fine.
Wait, but if it swings out this way, the elevator like.
The elevator's like this, but then it will go over the bump and then it'll be flat again.
But how though? Like it would have
Because it
to.
will have gone past and
Like-
then it will not be on the thing
So-
anymore.
Let me try to constrain this to make a better demonstration. Because this is kind of how I had it set up
Because
before.
like the elevator needs to engage with the stage above it, right? Like how would that swing out? Like what would cause that to swing out? Because right now it looks like that's just gonna hit the.
The idea was, oh my goodness. The idea was to just like add like a slope type thing right here.
What do you mean?
Like, because what you're thinking is like, once it tries
Yeah.
to retract, it's gonna just hit
Yeah.
that and not go.
Yeah.
So the idea is that we would have like a slope thing that causes it to just slide off as it's going up. So it would instead like do like a, oh my gosh. Well, Anjay really doesn't like me trying to demonstrate this. But do you kind of see what I was talking about?
So the hooks are gonna like, and then after it gets around that, it'll just like fall back into place, and then. Oh, I see. So like a ramp on the sides, just okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Is the size of the crackings accurate because it looks pretty close?
Wait, what did you
Is
say?
the size of the crackings accurate because it looks pretty close?
You mean like on the modules? Yeah, it is.
I see what you're saying about the slope. I think that's interesting. I think that does solve
One thing
the
I'm
issue.
also realizing about this though is what's the spacing between?
Okay. Yeah. So in terms of, I think is that there's no more issues with that design then, right? Was that all the ones that were raised? Like all the issues that were raised?
The thing, in order for it to be, this is the max extension we can have.
Yeah.
In order, and that's like right up against the 30-inch vertical pay limit. In order for it to be able to extend that high, that would necessitate that this set of hooks is super low, which if you look at it from the side, gives us very little space for that ramp. I mean, it could.
I mean, I think that's just something we're gonna have to try.
Can you make that opening bigger? Or like on the bumpers? Because it looks like the bumper's the only thing that's in the way. Like is that already 5 and whatever, how many inches we have to have from the corner? Like, can you make that bumper opening bigger?
What do you mean, like? Wait, can you like?
Because you know how you said the ramp has to be small in order for it to slide off? Is that because of, like, if the bumpers, if you made the bumper gap opening bigger, like big enough for the peg to just slide through, would that still be an issue with the ramp?
Around the pegs.
I see what you mean. We know, because the elevator has to be supported by something, and that would block the peg from going through the chassis.
Someone's asking for a brief summary of the issue with the climb.
A brief summary? Oh, we've been talking about it for like 20 minutes now.
I know.
But yes, so brief summary. So there are two different climb designs we could be pursuing right now. We have this system that we kind of have a CAD sketch of here, where we have, gosh, my computer really doesn't like me demonstrating this. But basically, it's just the frame, or the elevator is inset, and there's like a bumper gap, and it allows you to like keep the hooks to grab onto the thing entirely inside your frame perimeter, which means you don't need any active deployment system to keep the hooks inside the frame perimeter. The alternative, as I was kind of saying, is having some kind of goofy, complicated hook deployment system that allows you to have the hooks stowed inside at the start of the match and when you're not climbing, and then use a motor or pneumatics or something. We don't have pneumatics, so it would probably be a motor. Use a motor to pivot it out in order to grab on.
I think the passive idea is pretty, I don't know, it makes more sense to me now. Maybe it's something you could start, like maybe you can all hop on building the elevator now and like trying to demo that, and then maybe have someone polishing up the actual CAD and design. It would be nice if you started putting that on the actual CAD, just so we could see with the hopper and everything. Is that something you guys could do, like kind of next steps, so we could speed up the process hopefully? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, trying out. The only thing is, I wish this elevator could extend a little more, because it's. Let's see, what is it like when the elevator is fully retracted? My main concern is with the fixed stage hooks having to be so low in order for it to be able to hook onto the next stage. If I do that, I really do. Parallel. Let's make these guys. Let's force these guys to be parallel.
I use a solder, it's just as soon as you put a flux on a solder, it just sticks.
Yeah. Because, with this, like the fixed stage hooks.
All right. I think you guys should go back to your group and start working on that. Yeah. I think he is.
Oh, just dimensionally, I'm not sure.
I should start working on the elevator.
Oh, yeah, I don't have the track as well. It adds a
What?
lot of complexity. It takes away from bow shooters, but the sport.